Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. It's only 20.
And I'm not sure if the WNBA is ready for the ramifications of what has just been unleashed, which is the Swifties joining CCS.
At first, Angel Reese's decision to start a podcast seemed like a smart move to boost her notoriety, but it has backfired, causing a headache for public relations. Rather than becoming more well-known, she has alienated millions of Taylor Swift followers who are now endorsing Caitlin Clark. The world of women's basketball is feeling the effects of this unexpected change.
Angel Reese has her podcast, Unapologetically Angel. And on her podcast, she had a guest, Kayla Nicole, who is the ex-girlfriend of Travis Kelce, who obviously dates Taylor Swift, right? I mean, I think everybody.
Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriend, made a daring appearance as a guest on Reese's show to draw attention. However, the encounter infuriated Taylor Swift's fan base rather than increasing her notoriety. It caused an unanticipated backlash since the Swifties perceived it as a slight against their idol.
You know what fans you do not want to piss off? In this world, you don't want to piss off the Swifties. She's pissed off the Swifties. She has pissed off the non-Swifties.
The consequences of Reese's show, which unpredictably brought Swifties and Caitlin Clark fans together, were unanticipated. They have united to build a strong alliance that is rapidly gaining traction. Social media is being dominated by this new force in women's basketball fans, which is altering how people discuss the game.
Swifties are joining Caitlin FC by the second. Oh, it's so over for the league. Swifties becoming Caitlin Clark stans is such a joke.
The Swifties, who are well known for their intense devotion and extensive internet presence, have recently entered the women's basketball scene. Angel Reese is rapidly discovering the hard way what happens when one of the biggest pop artists in the world targets you. Reese was obviously unprepared for the situation that is being created by their collaboration with Caitlin Clark supporters, which is escalating the backlash.
There are some people, like, just in life, there are some people you don't want to piss off. Like, it's not going to end up well for you. There are some people you don't joke about because it's not going to end well for you. There are some people you don't want on your bad side because it's not going to end well.
You are aware that you don't want some folks on your bad side as things won't work out for you. The turning point was Reese's podcast appearance with Kayla Nicole. Her comments that she liked the thought of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce together were viewed as rude by fans. The Swifties immediately turned the podcast into a battlefield once she made that one comment.
Reese has her on the podcast. She talks about Travis Kelce, and the Swifties are unleashed. And they first start going for Angel. And, Angel can handle herself in that space, I guess, a little bit. And she posts this, Hayton Pays Too, about it. And she's ready for the onslaught. She's painting her nails to get ready to rock and roll.
The Swifties are not your typical fan base. They are renowned for their investigative skills and high level of organization. They saw Reese's remarks as a slight on Taylor Swift when they discovered her podcast. Swifties called Reese out for being out of line, and the conflict swiftly intensified.
On the podcast, this is a small sampling of what was said.
You guys can see each other, like, are you guys cool? I mean, I would probably hit him with a head nod. We've seen each other.
So there's respect.
We've seen each other in public spaces, but I think that we're both aware of the nature of his new situation, that there's just no room really for us to communicate or acknowledge each other publicly without it being spun into something crazy. So we just keep it moving.
The Swifties discovered an unexpected connection while looking over Reese's social media history. An old post from Caitlin Clark welcomed Taylor Swift to the fan base of the Kansas City Chiefs. Fans of Taylor quickly came to love Clark as a result of this surprise discovery.
There are a lot of them, and they're in mass. So Reese is ready. She's hunkered down. She's ready to take on whatever comes with Taylor Swift's fans. However, Taylor Swift's fans also unearthed this old Caitlin Clark post. I guess this happened around the time that she started dating Travis Kelce, which meant she was a Chiefs fan, and Caitlin Clark is a Chiefs fan. And Caitlin Clark writes, Taylor Swift, welcome to the good side, Chiefs Kingdom. All right, so we know Caitlin is supporting Taylor Swift. Not a shock. I think we've known that.
This discovery set off a series of events. The Swifties analysts break down career implications, joined forces with Caitlin Clark's current supporters, and swiftly rallied behind her. All of a sudden, Angel Reese was on the wrong side of a fandom that was expanding quickly. In women's sports, this fan base's size and impact are unparalleled.
The old post is being resurfaced and boosted as Caitlin Clark fans and Taylor Swift fans start to become one, which would equate to the largest fan base perhaps in the history of the universe. And you see like various posts out there. I mean, look, it's just an online sampling, but I found it amusing. This person says, Tay 013. I might start standing where
Reese has been the target of unrelenting criticism. Fans of Swifties and Caitlin Clark have banded together online to mock her show, examine her social media accounts, and wonder about her motivations. Reese is obviously underestimating the strength and importance of Taylor Swift's fan following, and some are even portraying it as a cultural conflict.
Up, according to Sir Charles, the Caitlin Clark situation. But I will preface this by saying, yes, the league did, but Caitlin Clark and her play and her teammates' play have straightened it. Here's Charles.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try. People believe what we say on television. Just because people...
In addition to harming Angel Reese's reputation, this unexpected partnership is advancing Caitlin Clark's career. Clark's status as a rising celebrity has been further solidified by the growth of her social media following. However, it's obvious that Reese's internet presence is suffering. Any other fan base has a significant obstacle when a sizable portion of Swifties suddenly support Clark, regardless of whether they are long-term supporters or are merely making a show of it online. Ironically, Reese's podcast is receiving more views and ratings, but not in the way she had anticipated. It has turned her into a target for mockery rather than praise, while Clark is easily profiting from the surge of popularity. This circumstance demonstrates how quickly things may change in the social media realm. However, other analysts are calling for perspective at the same time. In the end, it's just a podcast, and Reese is only 22. Although the episode did reach Taylor Swift's fan base and perhaps increased its numbers, it is hoped that major disputes won't arise. WNBA and media react to fan controversy. The continuous conflict between Reese's fan base and Clark supporters highlights the enormous impact that fan communities have in today's sports environment. The partnership between Swifties and Clark fans is changing women's basketball, producing new stars, and influencing public opinion in previously undiscovered ways. Reese is left wondering, what about me, in the meantime?
I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here. Caitlin Clark was going to get eyeballs whether she played against Angel Reese in LA.
Amidst this uproar, the notorious handwave event from the NCAA championship is coming up again. Many now perceive Angel Reese's mocking gesture at Caitlin Clark during that game as a pivotal incident that still plagues her career. After she beat Clark for the national title and waved her hands in her face, many have noted that criticism was unavoidable. Reese's present problems are now being connected to her unsportsmanlike actions during that high-profile game. What was initially perceived as merely a contentious one-on-one court incident has evolved into a representation of her public errors, further swaying public sentiment in favor of Clark and away from Reese.
Girl is incredible. What she did in college for women's basketball, what she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever. We're 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs, she's brought to college and the pros. And for these women to have this petty jealousness, you say to yourself, damn, what is going on?
For rather different reasons, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have emerged as two of the most talked about players in women's basketball. While Clark concentrates on sincerity and allowing her performance speak for itself, Reese leans into controversy to stay current. The Swifties' participation, in line with Clark, has increased her notoriety and drawn attention to the sport. Although Reese's podcast and social media have drawn more attention, their battle underscores a new era in women's basketball where fans. Final results: is Angel Reese finished? Influence, public perception, and social media presence are just as crucial as on-court skill.